are in the 2025 Porsche Panamera GTS. This has a 4-liter twin-turbo V8 that makes 493 horsepower and 486 pound-feet of torque. This is an 8-speed dual-clutch PDK. This shifts on a dime. So welcome to the third generation of the Porsche Panamera, essentially the bigger, more family-friendly Porsche 911. For 2024, the Panamera had a full redesign, and for 2025, the GTS trim was introduced. The Panamera is available in a variety of trims: the base, the 4, the 4E Hybrid, the 4SE Hybrid, this GTS, and then the Turbo E Hybrid and Turbo SE Hybrid. All right, so what makes this a GTS? Well, you get this 4-liter twin-turbo V8. It is 10 millimeters closer to the ground than other Panameras. It is the only V8 you can get in the Panamera lineup that's not electronically assisted. There's no hybrid element to the GTS. Now additionally, with the GTS, you get 21-inch wheels with central locking, 6-piston brake calipers up front and 4-piston calipers at the rear, black contrast trim, an adaptive 4-way rear spoiler, and a GTS interior which includes adaptive sports seats, a GT Sports steering wheel, and race text throughout. Sport Chrono is standard, which includes Sport Plus, launch control, and a sport response button on the steering wheel. Now the chassis has been specially tuned for the GTS. The adaptive air suspension features fully load-bearing air spring struts in 2-chamber 2-valve technology and has Porsche's active suspension management damping system. And this GTS can achieve 0 to 60 in about 3.5 seconds with a top speed of 302 kilometers an hour. Here we go. Oh yeah, you feel the rear end get out a little bit? Nice. It's a very fast, very heavy 5,000 pounds almost vehicle. It's huge. This is a very large vehicle. It barely fits in my garage. However, it is practical. All right, so this is super exciting to have this Panamera GTS this week. This thing is a monster. This is a great color to show off this car in. If I was buying one, I'd probably get it in black because I'm super boring, but it does look menacing. This is a terrific car. This GTS starts at about $176,000 here in Canada, or about $157,000 in the US. As spec'd, this one is $204,000 Canadian, which is crazy. This is almost a $250,000 car. But a big thanks to Porsche Canada for letting me drive this thing. It has been a lot of fun, super cool experience. So take a look at the big front end here. We've got our HD Matrix LED headlights at the front. These ones are tinted black, so that is an option, and it looks really nice. And then you've got your turn signals down there. Now standard on the GTS are these 21-inch rims. Now we do have a staggered setup, 275/35s at the front here, and then I believe it is 325s 30s at the back. Yep, that's right. So bigger tires at the rear. And if you're wondering what tires these are Michelin Pilot Sport S5s. So for brakes, we've got these high gloss black brake calipers. They are 6-piston up front and 4-piston in the rear. If you do want an upgraded ceramic brake package, it's like $10,000 Canadian. And then we do get this nice GTS side skirt here too. There is a nice fully functional vent right here. We do have soft close doors on this, so if you just lightly, there it goes. And then these doors are also great because they just stop exactly where you stop them. They don't fly back at you when you're just trying to go in and out quick. Really nice doors. Because this has Porsche's active aerodynamics, we've got this really sleek looking spoiler. It's like 3 different pieces. I know on the website it says a 4-way rear spoiler. I don't know where the 4th part is. Someone can tell me in the comments below. But that is sick, and it's so cool when it opens up. Coming around to the rear here, we do have a quad exhaust setup. Really wide, really aggressive. Love the back end here. We've got the Porsche logo here, and then we do have Panamera GTS in sort of a flat gray, flat black look. And then we've got a diffuser at the rear here as well. All right, so your votes came in, and out of 555 votes across Instagram and YouTube, 86% of you approved of the design on the Porsche Panamera GTS. Now, if you want to participate in voting, just make sure to either follow on Instagram or subscribe here on YouTube and look out for the weekly voting polls. All right, so I thought this would be a good time to shoot the interior because the sun is shining nicely through the trees and then through the sunroof here, kind of giving it a nice like shadowy look. It looks kind of cool. That is the videographer in me coming out. Now, if you've been in a modern Porsche in the last couple years, this is kind of the way they're going with these touchscreens. This is a 10.9-inch screen here and a 10.9-inch screen for the passenger over here because this has the upgraded technology package. Then you've got a digital driver's display, which a lot of people may not be super happy about. A lot of Porsche drivers prefer analog gauges, though if I have to have a digital display, this is a pretty nice crisp one. Now, there are a couple different layouts for the screen. You can get just an entire map up there, which is pretty cool. And then there is night vision because this has that technology package as well. And then there's a very minimal one. This is like very similar to the Taycan. I usually just leave it at this because I like this the most. And then you can adjust your heads-up display up there. You can make it a little more minimal, or you can add your tachometer up there too as well. Now, while we're over here, this is a phenomenal steering wheel. It is a Porsche steering wheel. They always do a really good job with their steering wheels. We've got our drive mode selector here. We can put it into Sport and Sport Plus, and the car starts to rumble a lot. It gets a nice little growl going. This does also have Sport response, so this comes with the Sport Chrono package, and you get 20 seconds of extra boost. Really nice metal paddle shifters up here. They feel great and are very addicting to use, especially downshifting, because you want to hear that nice V8. Now, if you are new to Porsche, the start and stop is on the opposite side of where you think it's going to be. So it's on the left side here in North America. It used to be that you would put a key and then twist and turn the car on over here, but they have gone away with that now, and it is just a start-stop. We have the new gear selector in here too. This is on the new Cayenne, this is on the new Macan. It's showing up everywhere basically. Now, some people don't like the new shifter, and if you want to drive in manual mode, you really got to hold it down and then it engages. We do have 2 memory seats, and these are 18-way adjustable seats. They do have leg extensions, which is great. I always love leg extensions, not that I'm tall or anything. Now let's talk about this 10.9-inch screen. It looks very nice. So does the one in the passenger. It shows you fairly similar stuff over there in the passenger seat. There is a cool cockpit mode that shows you how many G's you're pulling, what drive mode you're in, the speed you're going, and a compass. That's probably the screen I would keep it on the most. I don't know if the passenger is really going to use that screen too much. I probably wouldn't option that, but it is kind of cool. Now, in this GTS, we have drive mode up here, we have our chassis, and then we have our ride height. So we are at the lowest ride height right now. There are 3 levels of ride height. This doesn't have that cool active suspension thing that the e-hybrids have, where it will raise all the way up when you try to get in the car. You can adjust your exhaust system here, and then this is where you would put your spoiler up too. Now, when you're going really fast, the spoiler will just come up by itself. Then you've got assistance over here where you can adjust your lane keeping and all that kind of stuff. And then you're never going to look at this because you don't want to see what your fuel economy is because it's not good. And then if you want to adjust your ambient lighting, I've got it red right now, which I think looks pretty cool, but it will adjust to your drive modes as well. Now, a couple other things. That is our Sport Chrono. This is useful if you're on the track. And then we do have a performance screen here, which will show you how much torque you're putting out in Newton meters there. It'll show your tire pressure, and it will show you basically how much brake pressure you're putting down or your throttle response. Now, with that premium package, you get active lane keep, surround view with active parking support.
There's a mosquito. Whoa.
4-zone climate control, heated rear seats, and an air quality system. Now, I don't have a whole lot of nitpicks with this interior. I think it's a really nice interior. I would say gloss black is always scary. It gets scratched up very easy. And I also don't love the fact that I have to go into a menu to direct where the air goes. I wish there was just a little knob there that I could direct the air, but yeah, this is the same as the Taycan. But it is nice that we do have buttons for our fan speed and for our temperature. So at least we still got those. We do have ventilated seats. We do have heated seats, and you can keep both on at the same time. Interesting. Traction control off buttons right there. We do have a wireless charger, and it is cooled. It's got a little fan in the back, keep your phone from overheating on the pad. And then we do have 2 USB-Cs there. We've got 2 big cup holders, good sized cup holders, but not a whole lot of space in the center console here. So it's pretty cool back here. You've got this nice race text all over the headliner. These are really cool seats to look at up here. We do have our own little screen for our HVAC controls back here with heated seats, but I definitely don't want those today. It is so hot, I am really regretting wearing jeans and a long sleeve. What's really nice is we have 4 vents back here. So we've got 2 in the middle here and 1 on each side. And what's great is you can actually just move them physically, not like up front where you need to use the touchscreen to direct the airflow. Anyways, we're over that. And then as for headroom, it's good. If you were a little bit taller, probably past 6 feet, you might feel a little tight, but for me at 5'10", it feels fine. These seats are pretty comfortable. This is the 2+1 configuration, so you could put someone here, but their legs would be going around the console, so it wouldn't be too comfortable. It's just kind of for an emergency purpose only, I assume. And then you do have cup holders right here, 2 of them, and a pass-through as well for skis and that kind of thing. Not a whole lot of storage in the door panels. You really couldn't fit a whole lot in there, maybe like a granola bar, but that's about it. Now, with the seats up there, we have 16. All right, so with the seats up, you have 17.4 cubic feet of cargo space, and then with the seats down, you have 46.9. It's also important to note that the hybrid models have slightly less cargo space due to the battery. And this was great this week. I had a video shoot and I was able to carry all my gear absolutely no problem in here. Very practical sports car. And then if you want to put the seats down, there's a button to press right there and you can put them down. There are no other buttons in the back here to put the seats down. And then we have some other little cargo areas right here. Now, if you saw my last video on the Mazda CX-50, you'll know that my wife and I picked up a carpet and just managed to fit it inside the CX-50. Now, unfortunately, the carpet didn't work out for our space, so I had to take the carpet back in the Panamera and it fit just fine. Well, mostly. Just it sounds so good. The shifts in this. It's very smooth too. So we got 3 different drive modes. We have normal, and this is probably what you want to drive this in around the city, especially if there are bad roads, because when you throw this thing into Sport Plus, it gets very stiff. And you do feel the bumps in the road, but I mean, this is a GTS. This is supposed to be sporty, and it does that well. Into a turn here in this almost 5,000 pound sedan. It handles like it's 2,000 pounds. Porsche just always does a phenomenal job with handling. That is their thing. This is so sick. It's so planted to the ground. When I film these videos, I have all my camera gear with me because I don't really want to keep going back and forth from home. So sometimes you'll hear camera gear rattling. There's nothing rattling in this vehicle. It is very, very tight. So yeah, this Porsche Panamera chugs gas. We're getting 16.8 liters per 100 kilometers right now. Obviously, if you're buying a $200,000 car, fuel economy is not going to matter to you. Matters to me because I got to pay for the gas in this vehicle. But I mean, it's to be expected with a big twin turbo V8 here. Now the fuel tank in the Panamera is a 90-liter tank, or about 23.7 gallons, and it does take 93 octane. Other notable features, this GTS was optioned with rear axle steering. And with this rear axle steering, it makes the car feel like a smaller car. It's very easy to maneuver around in the parking lot. That Porsche Macan Turbo had rear axle steering as well that I had a few weeks ago. It probably didn't need it. It's a pretty short vehicle, but this is a very long sedan. It barely fits in my garage. And yeah, it's quite handy. It's quite nice to have the rear axle steering on this. Other interesting facts about the Panamera GTS is that it can actually tow 4,800 pounds. So this is a little bit of a different video. I didn't like fully review this car. I can't take this on a racetrack really, so I can't say, oh, it handles absolutely amazing, even though I know it does. But I'm just driving out here on straight roads for the most part. We don't have a whole lot of curves in London, Ontario, Canada. What I can say is this is a joy to drive. The downshifts, the V8 sound, it's just all magical. As you can probably tell, I had a wonderful week with the Panamera GTS. Excellent power, great V8 sound, though not outrageously loud. It was actually somewhat subdued, not as raspy as some of the AMG or BMW V8s. While you can feel the weight of the vehicle at times, it does handle incredibly well and feels planted, and it's very confidence-inspiring. And you'd really want to take this out onto a track to push it to its full potential, but all in all, it was a great experience, and I thoroughly enjoyed driving this Panamera GTS for the week. It's an awesome vehicle. Anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.